You know how odd moments stick in the memory. One stays in mind. I was dealing with retirement pensions. I was tired to the point of writing that awful jargon that passes for English. I'd written something like, I don't want what I've said to discourage you from pursuing this question further. Rather, I would wish that my arguments would prove an added stimulus. At that point, I said to myself, now come on, John, pull yourself together. That won't do. What is it you are trying to say? And I pulled myself together as I was. I pulled myself together and I searched and found it. I don't want to put you off. I want rather to set you on. That was all. What torment we have to go through to find what it is we are trying to say and how to say it in simple words. That was all. Two simple sentences put you off, set you on, each ending with a preposition. At that point, as I wrote this script, I went for a walk around the house. Two lads were talking as I passed. One had 3 dogs on a leash. The other asked as I went by, what do you keep dogs for? I picked up my ears at that for more reasons than one, but I'm always interested in the way people say things, quite as much as in what they say. What do you keep dogs for? That was his way of asking, why do you keep dogs? It's most people's way. I fancy it's my way as often as not. In my everyday speech, but suppose I'm writing a talk and want to ask a question like that in it. Which form shall I use? Shall I say why, or shall I say what for? The first saves a word, and over the air, a word saved is expressing a thought is a kingdom gained. The second not only wastes a word, but the sentence ends in the wrong sort of preposition, the one on which you drop your voice. What did you keep dogs for? So you'd say, use the first. Yes, but I like what I say to get home and to get at that lad. Mustn't I use his form, not the best form? The times I've had to face that question, popular English is, or good English. I gotta put the light on. I think I've already mostly dodged it. There's an idiom, I believe, which lies behind both stiff speech and loose talk. I think if you can get back to that, the boy on the bike and the girl at the counter and the man at the works and the woman in the home will all feel the speech you are reusing to be, perhaps not true to life, but something better than life. It is a choice of words and a turn of speech that, if only you can get it, reflects the very soul and spirit of our language. It comes down, of course, through Shakespeare and the authorized version, but there's nothing old-fashioned, nothing dead and done with about it. It's all alive and kicking, but it keeps to the homely words that belong to the oldest English and to homely turns of speech. That's the way out I've tried to find. Sometimes I felt I've really found it, and then what a thrill, how often I've tried it and failed. I do believe that's all I want to say about the technique of composing talk. All I want to say here and now. It's all I can say anyhow, but about delivering over the air what's composed. There I think I'd better keep quiet. Each has a way that best suits himself, or herself, of course. Each must find that way, his or her own way. To find it, one has to experiment, as I've said. You may even, I think, copy or mimic someone else's style now and again just to see if there's anything in it that fits you. But in the end, you've got to find your own self. Or rather, you've got to find or create a radio version of your real self. All that about being natural's no good. You know, fine art's never natural. It only looks it, or sounds it. You've got to find or create a radio version of yourself, the radio quintessence of yourself, and then write for it and go to the microphone and act it with truth and sincerity. Just two odd things from my own experience on the matter of delivery. My belief is that listeners hear speech, not in a sequence of words, one after the other, but in chunks. And what I try to do, though I may seldom succeed in my good intentions, is to throw out my words in bunches, like that, and then pause long enough for the listener to take that bunch in. I don't know if that's right for everyone. I don't even know if others would think it right for me, but it's been my theory, and it's what I'm aiming at in practice. However, often I may have missed the mark. The other oddment is this: the matter of speed. All over, average speed. Many of you have written to me from time to time, what you were saying was so exciting, but oh, I wish you'd gone slower. I missed some words. Yes, but if I'd gone slower, you wouldn't have been excited. You'd have written then and said, why were you so solemn? You nearly sent me to sleep. Oh, I know, you can have it both ways. When I have gone slow, it's not been for that. It's been because of my many friends in Wales who have trouble in following too rapid English, however clearly it may be spoken. Too fast?
A little fast.